Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to another video of Saff-e-Suffah virtual, and today we'll be continuing the same chapter that we have been doing previously, that was your history and importance of Quran. Earlier we have done a video about the compilation of Quran, but today we'll be going for another very important topic, and that is significance of Quran. Okay, when the examiner asks you about the significance of Quran, he is actually asking you that how, uh, in the lives of Muslims, how Quran is actually used. So examiner is actually asking you the relationship of Quran with thought and action of Muslims, like how कुरान determines the lives of Muslims. तो कुरान का मुसलमानों की ज़िंदगी में रोल क्या है, या कुरान किस तरीके से मुसलमानों की ज़िंदगी को इंसर्कल करता है, वो किस तरीके से उसको गाइड करता है. तो ये हमारे पास सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ कुरान का एक क्वेश्चन है. To structure your response in a way that it seems very reasonably argumentative to the examiner, that he could read your arguments and he would conclude, okay fine, by these arguments आपने उसको prove कर दिया कि कुरान का actually status और significance Muslim life में है क्या. Students, this question, to answer this question, you need to formulate your response in such a structure that you provide a very reasonably argumentatively packed response to your examiner, so that by reading your paragraphs of your response, examiner gets an idea, very clear idea, that is clear with the language, that is clear with the idea, with the content that you are writing, that what is the significance of Quran in the Islamic life. So I hope we have done enough of the introduction of this question. Now let's start how to respond this question. So first of all, we need to determine the status of Quran in Islamic life. So when it comes to status of the Quran, we are very, very, very sure, and we are very. So when it comes to the status of Quran, the first thing is that Quran is the most supreme source. And when I'm saying it is the supreme source, so I'm saying that it is second to none. It is first and actual source. Every other uh, source that is out there comes from the Quran. Even Hadith is a manifestation of Quran. That obviously we'll be discussing another question as well. And it's a 10-mark question that we will discuss, that what is the relationship between Quran and Hadith. But crux of debate of the relationship between Quran and Hadith is that Hadith is the practical manifestation of Quran, or in other words, Hadith is dependent upon Quran. Quran is the first and actual source from where everyone derives the guidance. So by determining the status of Quran, now it's time for us to actually show and convey that how diverse, how broader the usage of Quran in the lives of Muslims is. इसको बताने के लिए कि कुरान कितना डाइवर्स है, या कुरान कितना तरीके से मुसलमानों की लाइफ को हैंडल करता है, या किस तरीके से मुसलमानों की लाइफ को गाइड करता है. वेरी सिंपली, इफ आई वुड प्रोवाइड यू माइंड नोट, सिंपली हम अगर मुस्लिम लाइफ को देखें तो उस लाइफ जितने भी वॉक्स ऑफ लाइफ है, उसकी जितनी भी डायमेंशंस है, तो हर जगह पे हमें कुरान गाइडेंस प्रोवाइड करेगा. फॉर एग्जांपल वो हमें पॉलिटिकली गाइड करेगा. फॉर एग्जांपल वो हमें सोशली गाइड करेगा. फॉर एग्जांपल वो हमें लीगली गाइड करेगा. फॉर एग्जांपल वो हमें इकोनॉमिकली गाइड करेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कुरान मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली हमें रिलीजियसली गाइड करेगा. तो हम अब यहाँ पे जितना ज़्यादा एग्जामिनर को कंटेंट प्रोवाइड करेंगे डिफरेंट वॉक्स ऑफ लाइफ से, हम उतना ज़्यादा अपने आंसर को रेलिवेंट बना रहे हैं टू द प्रॉब्लम दैट एग्जामिनर है आस्क्ड. और आई वुड एडवाइज यू कि आप इसी अप्रोच को यहाँ पे फॉलो करें, ताकि आपके आंसर में वो जो बम्बार्डमेंट ऑफ आइडियाज़ है ना, वो नज़र आने की बजाय एक प्लेन एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड आंसर नज़र आए, जहाँ पे एक बड़ा डेवलप्ड किस्म का रिस्पॉन्स आप लेके चल रहे हैं, और आप डाइवर्स नॉलेज एग्जामिनर को दे रहे हैं कि हाँ मुझे ये भी पता है कि कुरान यहाँ पे ऐसे गाइड करता है, कुरान यहाँ पे ऐसे गाइड करता है, कुरान यहाँ पे ऐसे गाइड करता है. ओके, एक और चीज़ दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ओवर हेयर इज कि यहाँ पे यू डोंट नीड टू you know bring a lot of references or bring a lot of quotations from Quran. Simply, you can like refer very simple, very plain verses to actually address the whole issue. For example, let's start. For example, हम कहते हैं कि how Quran politically guides. So politically, there are many verses in Quran, but for example, there's a verse that says कि obey Allah, obey Prophet, and obey those charged with authority among you. So by this verse, now this is a verse from Quran. So by this verse, it is really obvious for us कि Quran जो है वो हमें क्या political guidance जो है वो provide कर रहा है कि those who are charged with authority, we need to follow them so that country does not go into the hands of anarchy or एक law and order situation जो है वो maintain रहे. तो ये अब हमने politically बता दिया. Since I am keeping it very brief, obviously जब आप लिखेंगे तो आप इन ideas को develop करेंगे. मैं तो सिर्फ आपको ideas हैं जो बता रहा हूँ. Proceeding further, let's address social teachings of Islam. Socially, Islam has given, Quran has given many, many, and a lot of teachings out there, but we'll be referring few. For example, Quran asks us to be fair in our conduct, to be just in our conduct. Quran says that we should not, spread rumors. We should not backbite. Such teachings where we can actually see how Quran is guiding us to live in a society peacefully. These are the teachings of Quran that you can refer. Why I am not like writing everything down and why I'm not addressing everything over here is because I want you to actually learn the concept and then go and have your own research. So you should not cram, rather you should learn the things. You should learn the technique. So I'm just discussing the technique over here. So you can talk about the social teachings, for example. Uh, when Quran says that be respectful towards your workers, uh, then there are a lot many verses that you can quote over here. Then comes the economical teachings of Islam. Okay, economically, Quran has repeatedly very important thing is uh, while addressing the economic teachings of Quran, first and foremost, an important thing is that Quran has given us the concept of halal economy versus halal haram economy that is out there. Quran has actually told us that we should. This is a verse that I am referring over here that we should uh, write our contracts. So whenever we are making any economical deal, Quran actually asks us to uh, have the contract written down. Similarly, Quran repeatedly asks us that we should be very fair in the means of earning. We should not, uh, uh, exploit anyone's situation and anyone's uh, uh, misery. So these are the economic teachings. These are the economic teachings. Going further, we have religious teachings. So religiously, Quran asks us to do the following things. For example, Quran asks us to praise our Lord. Quran asks us to be, be fearful of the wrath of God. Similarly, religiously, Quran asks us to be very pious and devoted through our actions and those actions that are based upon justice and fair means. So by this, you can understand that I am just giving you the mind map to solve this question. Legally, when it comes to what is the status of Quran in the legal aspect, so legally, Quran is the foundation of all other Islamic sources. Islamic sources of law, or in other words, Quran basically is the source behind Hadith, Ijma, and Qiyas. So these three sources are dependent upon Quran. They are not independent of Quran. They cannot go against Quran. If I like sum up all the lesson that we have discussed, we have discussed that Quran provides us a very diversified, a very broader teaching for every walk of life, and this is what Quran claims. And I am referring a verse. So, in conclusion, we can write this verse that Quran says that there is nothing we have omitted from this book. So you can write this verse down, and this is all. I hope that I have clarified the idea to you. It is actually a very easy question where we just have to talk about how Quran determines thought and action, how Quran determines the idea of life in the Muslim community. So what you need to do is you need to bring diversified ideas to examiner. Subscribe the channel if you have liked this video, share this video to others. And there's another very important announcement for you all, and that is we are well aware that you have your exams ahead. We wish you good luck, and we have arranged an online paper checking session, a past paper session for the students. So if you want to join this session, you can contact us. We'll be having our past paper come mock session for the students where we'll be guiding them how to how to improve their writing style, and individual attention will be paid to them. But for the details you have to contact, you can even write down in the comment section, so we'll be guiding you there. Thank you. Please subscribe the channel.